Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 26th. And sorry, this deck, I put it upside down. So let me fix that real quick. You start off with this travel card. It says you're attracting positive movement or travel that will bring your desires to fruition. You have this Aquarius card. It says rebellion, think outside the box and stretch the boundaries of what could be. So you start with the Ten of Wands, the Lovers, and the Two of Swords. And the Ten of Wands could represent, of course, obstacles or carrying a heavy burden and, kind of like hoping to end a burden. The thing that I say about the Ten of Wands is that this is his harvest, and his home is in the background of the Ten of Wands. So he is about to release a burden, or he is about to have a harvest. And really, to me, the Ten of Wands is actually a good card because, how is it a bad thing to have a harvest? It says that you've been working very hard on something and you're kind of about to get a result. So, I kind of feel that this is a good thing. And we go down to the Nine of Pentacles. I'm wondering, if you are thinking, has it been worth it, or is it worth it? That's what you're wondering going in this direction. Like, was it worth it to do all this work, or was it worth it for me to put in all this energy into something that I've been doing? And I would say yes. I feel like you're about to see. It's almost like this reading, and especially you end with a star now, so that really tells me that you are about to see that it's all been worth it, or it is worth that, has been worth the struggle, or whatever you want to call it, right? You have the Lovers here. A lot of people get in love at the end of the year. So, even in the readings I just did for the rest of the year, a lot of people had cards of love or, getting into new connections. So it could just be a good time for love in general, and you could be attracting a new person. If you don't want love, and even if you do, the Lovers can sometimes be about, kind of being at a crossroads. The Lovers was originally called The Choice. It was about making a choice in love. And it's kind of like a crossroads card. Some people might say that's not accurate, but I don't know. Sue me, right? And what I would say here is that I think that some of you could have a choice to make, and it might not be in love. The interesting thing that we have here is we go up to the Hierophant, down to the Knight of Swords. This could be like a decision that is very traditional in your life with the Hierophant, or there might be one choice that is coming in for you that kind of fits inside of a box, or is kind of like an inside the box type of thing. This choice, going to the Knight of Swords, might be something where people are telling you that you're being hasty, or you're making too quick of a decision. The funny thing is, I don't normally pay attention to this first diagonal here, because it's not really a diagonal. This is a diagonal going this way. But for some reason, again, I want to pay attention. Like in this reading, I feel like I need to pay attention to those two things. I feel like the Hierophant is a choice. I feel like the Knight of Swords is a choice. So there you go. And it's funny that you have that Rebellion card, which says think outside the box, right? So I kind of feel like the Knight of Swords decision is the right decision for you. I feel like this could be, maybe you're trying to choose between two jobs, or moving to India and starting a business, or like doing something random in your life. It's like one thing. I feel like people are saying, do this, go to school, do the traditional stuff. And I feel like the other decision, people are probably telling you, what are you, nuts? What are you, crazy? Why would you go do that? And that's what you should do. You should do the crazy thing. You have the Two of Swords here. And again, thinking this or that, right? Having a decision to make. She has a third place behind her. It's like you don't have to make the societal decision. It's almost like one choice in your life fits in very well with society, and the other choice does not fit in with society as well. Or, the other choice doesn't fit in at all. And as a weird person myself, I can tell you that I never have regretted making any of the weird decisions that I have made in my entire life. My life is much more exciting. I'm not like anyone else that exists. So, again, I would encourage you to be weird. Embrace that Aquarius energy that's showing up in your reading. Yes, I understand. I'm sure someone's going to correct me. I'm talking about the Aquarius card to the person. I can hear you right now in my head correcting me. Yes, I understand this reading's for Libra, but you have the Aquarius card. Pay attention to that one person, right? Let's see. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Six of Cups. Six of Cups is kind of like a turnaround, especially coming up with that Ten of Wands. I sometimes feel that the Six of Cups is just a turnaround in your life, or, a better way to put it is that sometimes I feel the Six of Cups comes up when we've been experiencing an obstacle, and the Six of Cups is almost a gift from the universe, and it's the removal of the obstacle. So that's what I feel here. With the Lovers, you have the Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you could be attracting like a very practical, grounded person into your life, which is interesting. I also feel like some of you could be attracting a person who, like, the things they do ground you. It's like they could be a person who kind of brings you back down to earth. So if you're looking for love, that could be coming in for you. I also do feel that this is saying the rebellious choice in your life is probably the one that is going to make you more successful. Even if we go this way, we go down to the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is pre-Empress energy. Nine of Pentacles is abundance and success. But it's clear to me with the Nine of Swords, the Nine of Swords is like a decision that you have been agonizing over. So if you have been agonizing over a decision, this could be making a decision to live abundantly. With the Two of Swords, you have the Queen of Swords. It's like you already know what you're going to do. It's really funny sometimes. Like, I answer questions usually on Mondays with the lovely Bonnie, right? And a lot of the times someone will say to me, they'll ask a question, like, should I do this or that? And the Queen of Swords will come up. I'm like, you already know what you want to do. It's like you already know what you want to do. You're just looking for a person to give you permission to do it. So sometimes I feel the Queen of Swords is like that type of energy where she's coming up in the reading saying, you already know what you want to do truly deep down inside. Just do it. You don't need permission, right? In the next row for what's coming in for you, you have this barrier card and this ego card. And sometimes it is an ego thing where our ego is making it hard for us to make a decision. It's not saying you have an ego, like you're a bad person. It's just saying, like, sometimes the reason we have a hard time making a decision is because our ego is getting in the way, and we think that we have to fit in with the Hierophant, or we feel like we can't leave college because it would disappoint our parents or whatever. And as someone who has been a disappointment forever, I can tell you it really just doesn't matter, right? So you're going to disappoint your parents no matter what, doing something in your life. So I kind of feel like this is saying, drop the ego. I'm not saying like you have an ego like you have a big ego. I'm saying like, we all have these little parts of our ego that kind of get in the way. And those are the things that I feel are, maybe you have this barrier card, and those could be, and they look very similar, right? It's like one is a river, the other is a path, and they look very similar on this card, on the two cards. So again, I think that those little things could be getting in the way, and it's probably the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a card of tradition. It's a card of being raised a certain way, or being raised with a certain set of beliefs or a belief system. It could even be a belief system that you developed as well. It's like you could have certain beliefs or certain things that you believe about life, and you could be coming around to seeing that those things aren't true anymore. It's like this happens a lot to people, I think. They develop a certain belief system, and then after a few years, they decide they don't want to believe it anymore, or they get enough evidence that makes them change to a different belief system. And it could be about anything. It could be like, maybe you think the sky is blue and the ground is green, but maybe now you're starting to think, actually I think the sky is green and the ground is blue. You might be just changing that belief, whatever it is, and going against the grain. And I do feel there's a little bit of energy in this reading of you going against the grain, but I also feel like you're clearly meant to be a rebel with that Aquarius card. You have the Nine of Swords. Again, I just get this agonizing decision thing popping into my head with the Nine of Swords. So I feel there could be a choice or a decision that you've been trying to make, and you're going over and over and over it. And it's like time to make a decision. I'm not even worried about it because Six of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. This to me would say that you are going to make the successful decision, or that you are going to make the choice. You have the Knight of Swords. And again, I just get the feeling I don't really get traditional Knight of Swords energy on this card. I just get this energy of like people saying to you that you're like making the wrong decision, or that you aren't thinking things through. And I would just say that those people are not living inside your head, right? So they don't know what you've thought about. They don't know the things that you've learned. And I think that you shouldn't let those people kind of get in the way. I just feel, and I don't think these people are like bad people or anything like that. They're probably just trying to protect you. But, again, I still feel like there could be people that are saying things to you where they're kind of like, getting in between like what you want to do with your life and what you should do with your life. With the Hierophant, you have the Ace of Pentacles. Yes, clearly, whatever opportunity this is, that you're working on is a big opportunity, and I feel like you need to do it no matter what. So the Ace of Pentacles is about really nurturing something into existence, and whatever outside the box thing that you're thinking about doing is clearly going to be successful, and I feel like you need to do it. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Four of Swords. This Mercury retrograde probably brought you a lot of clarity that we just had as well. Or, again, you could be watching this. I'm doing this on the 21st, so you could be watching this before the end of the retrograde. But still, again, I think this retrograde maybe has brought you a lot of clarity. Four of Swords is kind of like my Mercury retrograde card in the tarot, because it represents doing all the things you should do during a retrograde. So, I think that you've just learned a lot during this time. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. Again, Five of Cups is you just not being happy with your current situation. Personally, I don't look at the fives as bad cards. I think the fives have very easy solutions. But the Five of Cups is kind of like same old, same old. He is looking at these 3 cups of spilt wine, and the story of the Five of Cups is that he no longer enjoys wine any longer, but he is kind of grieving the loss of something that he once enjoyed. So a lot of you, I feel, could be changing your life in a new direction. Again, you could be breaking free from a belief system, like I said, with the Hierophant, or you could be like leaving college, or you could be doing something that's not traditional, that people don't normally do, but it's because you don't enjoy it, right? And I think that there's something else behind you right here that you will enjoy a lot more, and that's what I would do. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Caduceus card. It says, you will receive news from afar. You have the Serpent. It says, a sly and subtle approach is needed. You also have the Seven of Swords. So in this row, so both cards, the Serpent and the Seven of Swords, kind of represent a sly and subtle approach. Most people think of the Seven of Swords as sneakiness or being sneaky. I personally read the Seven of Swords as a positive card. Golden cards in the tarot are meant to be positive no matter what. So I think for a lot of you, this is just saying that maybe it would be a good time to keep some ideas to yourself. Or again, if you have those people in your life who have a certain belief system, it might be a good time to, tell them or not tell them what you're doing, right? And that's what I mean here. Again, I think there could be good news coming in for you. I personally, again, this is not an accurate tarot thing, but personally, I look at the Ace of Pentacles as a card of good news sometimes, so there could be good news coming in for you. You have the Six of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Nine of Pentacles. The Six of Wands is a card of a victory or success. So there definitely could be some sort of victory or success coming in for you. He's also kind of being celebrated as well. And sometimes we don't get celebrated until after we do something that people didn't agree with, right? It's like after, then everybody sees that we were right. Or after we did something, then everybody says like, oh, I always knew they would make it, right? So you might have a lot of those moments where years down the road when everybody sees you, starting that successful business or doing whatever you've done, then they'll be celebrating your success. You have the Seven of Swords. Again, this would represent the sly and subtle approach. The Seven of Swords, he is stealing those swords from that army in the background. So you might need to keep some things to yourself as you go on this new journey, or if you're, again, breaking free from tradition and doing something different. It might be time for you to kind of like take a different approach, or it might be time for you to not ask for advice. It's like, it's kind of funny that I said that a second ago about the Queen of Swords, right? It's like sometimes I think we ask for advice and we're just looking for someone to tell us that it's a good idea. Or we're just looking for someone, we're not really looking for the advice, we're more looking for confirmation. And I feel like the Seven of Swords is saying, like, at this time, you're going to have to be the person that gives yourself confirmation. Like, there is nothing, I don't think anyone is necessarily going to do that for you. And sometimes I think we have such, like, five-head ideas that are too in the clouds that no one can see it. So it's like you have to create it so that then people can see it. They won't understand the idea. And I definitely get that, that energy in your reading here. You have the Nine of Pentacles. Again, Nine of Pentacles would be independence and kind of like doing things on your own. So I think that a lot of you, this should be confirmation for you that you have everything you need to get started, especially if you're, again, taking your life in a rebellious direction here. Libra, I think that it would be a good time for you to do that. It will lead to a lot of success and abundance. But again, I also feel like you have all the skills necessary to do what you're about to do. With the Six of Wands, you have the Three of Swords. Yeah, again, I think you could be breaking the hearts of some people in your life. If your parents always wanted you to be a doctor and you're doing something different, then that could be happening. The Three of Swords can also just represent healing, heartbreak, or forgiving a past situation in general, which you could also be doing. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Five of Wands. Yes, do not go directly to battle, right? The Seven of Swords, he's stealing those swords from the army in the background. Five of Wands is conflict or competition or entering straight into the battle. And I feel like this is saying there is no battle that needs to be had. You can avoid the battle and with a sly and subtle approach. So if like you're starting a business where there's like a lot of competition, it's like how can you do things that set yourself apart from the competition? And there's a million examples. There's a million things that you can do to do that, right? You can just brand yourself in a unique way, or you can do things differently. Same thing in love as well. Like if you are finding love at this time, the Five of Wands can say like maybe you should keep it to yourself. Maybe you shouldn't become Facebook official for a few months. Maybe you should take some time. And there's a million reasons for this. It's like maybe you're dating a person where they just got out of a relationship and you don't want their ex coming in and like ruining things, right? So again, I think that this whole thing is kind of saying that at this time, I would say for the rest of the month, for the rest of September, it's like maybe whatever you're doing, keep it on the down low, and then after this time, then you can reveal it, right? With the Nine of Pentacles, you have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands about taking lead. Yes, you're the one that's going to have to take the lead, right? He is kind of needing to leave the box. The story of the Two of Wands is that he has rushed to a finish line, and he's kind of like doing everything that he always has done, but he has the whole world in his hands. Like there's so much more that he could go and accomplish, but he has to take the lead and do it. So again, I think this whole entire reading is quite simple. It's saying like you're going to be the rebel by taking lead and doing something on your own. You have this moon dance. It says celebration. This is coming up in the area of the good stuff. You have this dark side of the moon. It says mystery on it. So there are some mysteries that you're embracing. It's coming up in the good stuff, though. So, if there are any mysteries in your life, I think you'll figure things out. And I feel that you're about to have a celebration. You have the Nine of Wands. And sorry, this is a new deck, and it's just sticking to the table. But you have the Nine of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Star. The Nine of Wands is my card of experimentation, and definitely in the good stuff. Not only does it say, like, don't give up, keep pushing towards your dream, and especially because I think that you'll have a celebration with that, but also, I think it would be a great time for you to experiment with new ideas. You have the Six of Pentacles. I kind of get this feeling of finally getting your worth. Sometimes I feel with the Six of Pentacles, it comes up in the good stuff after a period of time where we haven't been receiving what we deserve, and now you are. So again, I kind of just feel that you're finally getting your worth, or you're finally getting, paid your worth, or whatever the case may be. You have the Star card. The Star can represent blessings or receiving a blessing, and especially in the area of the good stuff. It's a card of hope, faith, and renewal. I feel like there's a lot of things that will be happening. It's kind of funny because I do feel like this reading is really for like the next 6 weeks. I think that sometimes I just feel that these readings go longer, and I feel like this reading is talking about now till the end of September, and so I think that for a lot of you, you could be, kind of really in this time of like giving yourself hope. I also do feel there is a little bit of love here, but I do feel this is a very independent reading. I feel it's all about you. I think you're going to be focusing on yourself. I think you're going to be giving yourself answers and building confidence by not asking other people like whether they think something is a good idea or not, and you're just going to be making your own decisions, right? With the Nine of Wands, you have the Three of Cups, another card of celebration. So definitely there are going to be a lot of reasons for you to celebrate. With the Six of Pentacles, you have the Lovers, which you have twice right here. This could be you discovering love after a difficult period of time with the Nine of Swords, Four of Swords, Five of Wands, Seven of Swords. Like this could be you finding a person who's much more fair and balanced. So again, if you have had a difficult time, that could be happening. I would also say if you are dating a new person this month, I would, for the next like 6 weeks or so, I would definitely keep it to yourself. That popped into my head with that Seven of Swords and Five of Wands, that like if you put it out on social media or something like that, it might be a bad idea right now. In the future, fine. But right now, I just get this feeling of like keeping it private for the time being. Also, if you are in a relationship, by the way, I feel like if you are in a relationship where you have had some issues recently, I feel like you will be clearing those things up, as we get towards the end of the month, the end of August. So again, if you've been having an issue with your partner, it looks to me like actually you're going to be kind of like fixing it. With the Star card, you have the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is quick success, and the Eight of Wands is you kind of manifesting something as well. I always say, traditionally, the Eight of Wands was your arrows of love, meaning when the Eight of Wands comes up, you're telling the universe what you want, the universe is responding. I think in modern times, the Eight of Wands can just say, you're telling the universe what you want, the universe is sending signs, symbols, synchronicities, and saying, like, hey, move in this direction. So I think you're getting a lot of signs and symbols to, like, move away from one belief system and move towards another. Maybe that's not the right word to use, but, if you get it, you get it, right? You have this club card. It says, someone will try to make you do something against your will. I think this is why you need to put up those boundaries of keeping something to yourself. And again, it's funny that we were talking about this whole entire reading. I feel like one of you, it's like your parents wanted you to become like a doctor or a lawyer, and it's like you want to do something totally different, and you might be thinking about making a change. And so again, I think you need to realize it's your life. You have this hand card. It says, in need of help, assistance, or guidance. So I would make sure you're asking the right people for help, assistance, or guidance. Again, we all know we have those people in our life that hate on every single one of our ideas. Don't ask those people for advice. The people who you can ask that give you good advice, and I think you can ask those people for good advice. Again, I say it all the time in all my readings because for whatever reason it confuses people, but tarot isn't black and white. Life isn't black and white either. It's like a reading can say, don't share your ideas, and it can also say, share your ideas at the same exact time. And people are like, how is that possible? And I'm always like, well, I don't know. It's pretty freaking simple. If you have a person who gives you bad advice, don't ask that person for advice. If you have other people, when you've asked them for advice in the past, if they lift you up and they say good things and they have really good ideas, then those are the people that you ask for advice. So the two things can be very true at exactly the same time. And that's what I would say here is, like, yes, the reading is saying keep your ideas to yourself. Absolutely. But at the same time, we do see a lot of help here. Three of Cups, we have the Six of Cups, we have that hand card that says in need of help or assistance or guidance. So obviously you're going to have to ask people, but ask the right people. You have this Tree card. It says affairs with your family. The whole entire reading, we already talked about it. You have this Carrot. It says opportunity or windfall. Love it. So I think that you have the Ace of Pentacles, which can be an opportunity to have a windfall. And so there clearly could be an opportunity for a windfall. You have this Key card. It says successful outcome to your problems. Yeah, it's really funny that I felt that with, like some sort of connection. If you're in a connection where you've been maybe this month having an issue or something, I feel like you're going to correct it very quickly. So wouldn't even worry about it. But this is very interesting. I feel like you're becoming a little bit of a rebel here, Libra. But thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.